Alright folks, it's time to catch the first legendary Pokemon you can catch in the game, Cobalion. Now, in order to do this, you need to first have HM3 for Surf, and you need to have gotten the Jet Badge. Then you need to go to Route 6 and surf along until you find the Mistralton Cave. It's in the northeast area of it. You need Surf in order to have it. You also should bring Strength and Flash with you. Strength is required, but Flash, it just makes your life so much easier, as you can see. Now, I already visited the Mistralton Cave in the last episode, but I left because I realized I didn't have enough Pokeballs. So make sure you bring, I recommend 30 Dusk Balls between this and between the next legendary. It's good to have them anyway. Some people can catch it in, like their first one. I hear a lot of people, it's like, oh, I only caught it in 4 Pokeballs. Well, whatever. So this guy here, you can choose to listen to his story, and people lived in different worlds. War between people started with an intense fire in a forest where many Pokemon lived. The Pokemon were surrounded by smoke and flames. And then the legends Cobalion, so-and-so. Quick movements to protect Pokemon from looming flames, and Cobalion led the frightened Pokemon out of the burning woods. Well, that sounds cool. The people who started the war they wanted the legends. Because of them, it ended. When people fight, there's no reason for peace. Deeds of humans, etc. This guy talks a lot. No one saw much of them after that. I've been searching them for decades, and have finally figured out one of them within this cave. But they don't trust people. They'll bare their fangs and attack. They only know the old world. So I'm supposed to step in and show them that people and Pokemon can trust each other. If they take another look at people, they might stop hiding or something. Now, a really important item you can find is actually up here. It's actually not this rock. This is just an Ultra Ball. But that item right up there, this is really important if you're using a Litwick, because this Dusk Stone will evolve its evolution, Lampen, into the awesome Chandelure. Chandelure is an amazing Pokemon, and you can evolve it basically as soon as you have that and as soon as it evolves into Lampen. So, a lot of people are like, where do I get the Dusk Stone? You get it here. So just remember that. It's a very useful cave. There's so much stuff in here. There's a rare candy, there's a Carbos, there's a wild Pokemon, and there's a big blue thing in the corner. Did you see that? There's a legendary just lurking right back there. It's nuts. It's crazy, I tell ya. First time I saw it when I was playing the Japanese game, before anyone really knew what was going on. I'm like, whoa, there's a legendary Pokemon back here. What's that doing there? At least I think it was a legendary. I didn't even know at the time. So, there it is. There's Cobalion. Now, this is the first legendary you can fight in the game. I highly recommend saving your game first, just in case something bad happens while... What? Axew? How dare you interrupt me? Alright, anyway. You know what? Just because I don't want to run into another Axew, I'm going to save again right here, because I'm obsessive about this. But I recommend saving beforehand, because if you knock it out by accident, then you have to wait until after you've beaten the game in order to catch it again. Check it out. There it is! Cobalion, level 42! That's no doubt the strongest Pokemon you've seen in the game, unless you've been training yours like a savage beast. It is a fighting steel type, akin to Lucario, and it has some pretty decent attacks. Sacred Sword is the strongest of its attacks, though, so be wary of that. Another reason you should save is in case it knocks you out. Could do that, you know. Let's see. So try your best to get it as weak as possible. Remember, being level 42, it can take very strong attacks. You shouldn't have to worry about knocking it out in one hit. So once you get it into the red zone, tusk your Dusk Balls at it. It should have a very good chance of catching it because it's in the dark. However, it is still a rather difficult Pokemon to catch. Some people will catch it relatively quick. Remember, this is solely based on your luck. It's just a random number that's generated to determine if you catch it or not. Some people will be lucky, some won't. There's not really skill involved in it. So if it takes you 15 or 20, hey, that's fine. If it takes you more than 20, you should probably reset, just because it used up so many of your dust balls that, you know, it's like you could reset and have 20 again. Another thing you can do if you're having difficulty catching it is just toss a quick ball at it at the very beginning of the fight. You can do this, and that will, it'll have pretty good catch rate, but then you can just reset if you don't catch it, because you saved right beforehand. Now, I find just tossing a bunch of dust balls at it while it's weakened is still a better option, but I know some people have had good success with that. So whatever works for you. Even though I recommended bringing in about 20, it only took me like 4 or 5. Obviously, it could take more or less for you. It just depends on how lucky you are or whatnot. But then after you catch it, or after you knock it out, for that matter, this guy will show up. He thinks you've helped change the world. He wants to do something. He can communicate with Terrakion and Virizion. And basically, there were things that were blocking, yeah, like this guy's saying, there are things that were blocking the path to either of them. They'll be gone now, so you can go to either of them. However, you can only get Virizion at this point, because Terrakion is all the way in Victory Road, so you're not going to be able to get that until later. However, you can totally pick up Virizion. All you need to do is, after you've gotten Cobalion, either fought it or caught it, doesn't matter if you knocked it out, then you'll just want to go back to the Pinwheel Forest, which I'll cover on the next episode of Marriland's Pokemon White Adventure.